Hello everyone. The events of the Japanese film begin with a student named Kai sleeping on the bus on his way to school. Kai can't get off the bus because of congestion, so he has to get off at the second stop. He then runs quickly to avoid being late for school. After arriving, Kai notices that the students are talking about a famous actor and a famous model when they go to the administration office to request a transfer to the new school. But the employee has trouble understanding him, as he's shy and speaks in a low voice. Kai decides to transfer to a famous school in Tokyo, and a few days later, he arrives at the new school and meets the beautiful and famous model the students were talking about. The model Kai met is called Robbie, who is Kai's childhood friend. Kai has moved to the new school to be closer to Robbie. Kai is so shocked to have finally met Robbie that the papers he was holding fall out of his hand. Robbie reaches out to hold the papers and a smile appears on her face as she is reunited with her childhood friend after a separation of over 9 years. During that time, Kai had moved to live with his father in another town. Robbie gives Kai his phone number and asks him to call her. Then we go back in time to 9 years ago at school. We see Kai, his best friend Subaru and Robbie, who have been chosen to perform in a school play. On the day of the audition, Robbie tells Subaru that she dreams of being a famous actress. Kai confides in Robbie and Subaru that he wishes he could overcome his shyness and gain self-confidence.
To be able to speak fluently with people, Kyle was always frustrated when he compared himself to his friend Subaru, who was brave and confident. But Robbie always tried to encourage Kai, advising him to be optimistic and asking him not to give up in order to achieve his goals. Determined to support Robbie in realizing her dream of becoming a famous actress, one day the three of them play and Robbie falls from a high place. Kyle quickly runs to save her and suffers a back injury. We return to the present, where we see the school students gather around Subaru, who has become a famous actor. After his arrival at the school, almost all the students were welcomed by him. Robbie was among these students, and a few days later, Kai is surprised by a call from an unsavory person, who is believed to be Subaru's manager. Yuri meets Kai at the library and tells him that he has been hired to work as Robbie's assistant, as she is the one who would like to have someone as an assistant. Kai is surprised by Robbie's decision, but at the same time, he's happy to work as her personal assistant, as he'll be as close to her as he'd like. They decide to visit the film location where Robbie works and cross paths with a filmmaker named Fogik, who notices that Kai is strange in his movements and then wonders why there's a young man like him on the film set. Kai meets Robbie, who asks him to buy his lipstick at the nearest premium market. We go back in time to exactly the moment when Kai first discovers that Robbie has become a famous model, having accidentally seen her photo in a magazine. He decides to visit Robbie's school to help her realize her dream. Back in the present, Kai seems busy and stressed with his schedule. Robbie is forced to do several publicity shoots in a short space of time, as she tries to be ever optimistic and diligent in realizing her dream of becoming a famous actress in the future. One day, Robbie had an appointment for a lingerie commercial shoot, but she felt unable to shoot the ad. So she decided to lock herself in the dressing room and skip the commercial shoot. The head of the company that owns the lingerie brand gets upset about Robbie's act. The brand owner decides to cancel the contract with the advertising company Robbie works for. Kai tries to defend his girlfriend in the best possible way and says that the contract Robbie signed contains no text talking about his dismissal because of his lateness at the advertising shoot. He speaks openly and is happy that this is the first time he's spoken out loud. Filmmaker Fogik seems interested in Kai from their first meeting and asks Kai to take part in the advertising shoot with Robbie. He offers Kai the chance to become a famous actor if he agrees to shoot the commercial with her. Kai accepts Fogik's offer and, unexpectedly, everyone at the shoot is surprised when Kai takes off his glasses and looks like a beautiful person. After that, the advertising shoot goes smoothly and the result is very satisfying, as the advertised products become famous on the market. Kai becomes famous, as his handsome face appears on billboards and he becomes famous with the name of the mysterious actor. Robbie receives a new acting offer as a heroine, alongside the actor Subaru, because the first advertisement with Kai spreads quickly and achieves great fame. One day, Robbie tries to memorize the script for the play in which she will star with Subaru. Kai is sitting with her and Robbie asks her to memorize the dialogues of Subaru's character to help him memorize the dialogues and build an easy understanding between her and Subaru. Meanwhile, Subaru walks with his fans towards them and Robbie doesn't interact with him because he's too busy, even though she goes to school with him almost every day. Subaru is also always busy, being a famous actor. Subaru sees Kai and goes to talk to him, but he doesn't mind Robbie's presence, even though they've been close friends for several years. The next day, Robbie learns that she has an opportunity to take part in a feature film. After the play Robbie starred in with Subaru ends, Robbie starts training to prepare for the next film, as she wants to look perfect for the opportunity to act in movies. Robbie decides to take a break from work. On the day off, she decides to go out with Kai and spend some quality time with him, which makes Kai happy to be close to Robbie, and his love for her grows over time, even though he realizes he's just her assistant. After a few days of training, Robbie discovers that Subaru has had an accident and will be away for a whole month. Filmmaker Fogik and the crew decide to postpone shooting the film, but Robbie doesn't want to waste the opportunity. She asks Fogik to find another actor to compensate for Subaru's absence.
For he steps in and says he'd like to answer for Subaru, as he's memorized all the scripts for the character Subaru was going to play. But the crew rejects Kale's request and ridicules him for being only an assistant, not an actor. Fuji sees Kale's hidden talent and allows him to take Subaru's place. The film crew asks Kai to shoot a short scene with Robbie in front of them, and he seems surprised at how beautifully and naturally Kai plays. Kai was better than Subaru. Kale decides to recreate the cuddling scene with Robbie and seizes the opportunity to express his feelings for her, hugging her tightly until the scene stops. One day, during training, Robbie falls from a high place instantly. Kai quickly runs to save her, recreating the same situation that happened 8 years ago. Kale appears to save Robbie from falling to the ground, but sprains his feet. Robbie apologizes to Kai, who was happy to save her for the second time. Subaru attends rehearsals regularly and it's clear that he has recovered quickly and returned to the theater in time to encourage Robbie to continue performing. He soon leaves the premises. Robbie practices with Subaru, but she imagines Kale and becomes nervous, leaving the premises and asking her heart if it has really fallen in love with Kale or if it's just fantasies. Little does she know that the heart doesn't ask its owner's permission to fall in love. Everyone is impressed by Subaru and Robbie's performances on stage, their exceptional acting earning them top marks from the audience. Kale watches the show from backstage and is equally happy as he sees Robbie realizing his dream of becoming a famous actress. But Kale's happiness comes to an end when Subaru expresses her love for Robbie on stage. Kale realizes that his love for Robbie is over, and that any hope of winning his heart has evaporated. His heart is wounded. A few days later, he receives a call from Fogi, who offers him the lead role in a major film starring the famous actress Mina Kaiti. Kale continues to work as his assistant, having decided to reject Fogi's offer. But Robbie gets angry with him and asks him not to reject this golden opportunity. She tries to give him support and motivation. In the end, Kale accepts Fogi's offer and is able to compete with the more experienced actress Mina. One day, Robbie sees Subaru with Kale and feels jealous. On the other hand, Robbie sees a romantic photo of a film in which Kale and Mina are playing together, and she too is jealous to the point of starting to cry. After a while, Robbie tries to spy on them and overhears the dialogue between Subaru and Kai. She discovers that they are agreeing that the winner of their next Best Actor award will become Robbie's lover forever. Just then, Robbie discovers for the first time that Kai has been in love with her for a long time. 3 months after this agreement, the winner of the Best Actor award will win Robbie's love and the other will walk out of her life for good. In the end, it seems, the winner is Subaru and the loser, Kale, decides to fly to the USA and prepares to go to the airport. Kale sees an advertisement in which Robbie appears and remembers all the moments he spent with her. He decides to fight to win her love. Meanwhile, Robbie meets Subaru and tells her that she never loved him and wants to end their relationship. Subaru can't say anything because he realizes he's lost her forever. Kale goes to Robbie's film location and asks director Foggy's permission to talk to Robbie. At the end of the film, Kale declares his love for Robbie in a romantic moment and proposes marriage. Robbie is happy and kisses Kai, determined to change her life to touch his heart.
Subscribe and activate the notification bell, share with your friends, and don't forget to leave a little like.